Welcome to Bold Ventures TV, sister show to Bold Ventures Radio, brought to you by Atlantic Sea Island Properties, Org PR LLC, and Cyforth Shaw.
Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Jean Creech, and you're listening to Bold Ventures Radio. This is the show where every week we interview interesting entrepreneurs from all over the country. And tonight we're going to be interviewing John Melonakos, who is the CEO of AccelerEyes, and we're just delighted to have him. This is his first time around the round table with me on Bold Ventures Radio, so thanks for being here, John.
Well, thanks for having
me. Tell us in layman's terms, because it can get very technical very quickly when you talk about AccelerEyes. Tell us in layman's terms exactly what problem AccelerEyes solves.
Right. So AccelerEyes, we sell software that enables computers to run faster. And the way we do that is we take software that typically would run on a CPU. Everyone knows what a CPU is.
Everybody knows that, yeah.
Yeah. We take that and instead of running on the CPU, we tell that software to go run on the video card.
Okay.
So every computer has a video card. That's the thing that drives the monitor, that gives you a picture. But it turns out that it also has a processor on it called a GPU.
Okay.
It's a graphics processing unit. And that GPU today, that piece of silicon, is 10 to 100 times faster than the CPU on so in your laptop, in a desktop, everywhere. There are hundreds of millions of these video cards sitting in people's computers today that are capable of running software much faster, much cheaper, much lower power than the CPUs.
So where did the idea for AccelerEyes come from?
Right, so AccelerEyes started, we were all the co-founders, were students, PhD students at Georgia Tech, interested in medical image processing, and we had to develop our software, and it would take 14 hours every time we wanted to run an experiment. And at that rate, we never would have graduated. Right. Things were just going way too slow. So my colleague, and our CTO, and my co-founder Gallagher, sort of invented the technology on the side. He said, "Look, I'm just going to have my 14 hours instead of being 14 hours. It's going to be 14 minutes because I'm going to get it to run on my video card instead of my CPU."
So as PhD candidates, y'all were highly motivated to reduce that 14 hours to 14 minutes so you could graduate faster.
And in fact, we fell in love with this sort of side tool that we had created, or that Gallagher had created. We fell in love with that more than the medical image processing, and here we are.
And so, when was the aha moment? When did you realize that this sort of side thing was going to be your business? That was the real opportunity.
Yeah, right. So it took some time, but basically what happened was we said, you know what, we believe that this thing is going to be useful outside of our little research lab. So we did about 4 months of work and released an alpha version to just some of our close friends, and they loved it. And then we did a little bit more work, did a beta version, released it on the web for free, and we got thousands of people playing with it.
Wow.
And so we said, you know what, typically you can license these things over $1,000 a piece. With thousands of people interested in sort of a crummy little beta that had no real investment in it, what would happen if we actually commercialized the thing, started actually investing ourselves in this thing and drove it into a business, and that's what happened.
Okay, so what year was the software, was the alpha?
The alpha was 2007.
2007.
Right.
So then beta?
Beta's 2008.
Beta was 2008.
And then we started selling in 2009.
In 2009. Wow. Tough years.
But
so how have you done? But tough years for y'all?
Yeah, in 2007, 2008, we were still graduate students. So I graduated in 2008, for instance. So we were sort of in that alpha beta phase, sort of splitting our brains between two tasks. One of writing a thesis and graduating,
sure.
And the other of trying to sort of get these beta customers satisfied and do some product development. So those were tough years, but then in 2009 we were able to switch on put the brain in full mode towards building a business and open the doors to revenue flow.
Thanks for watching Bold Ventures TV, sister show to Bold Ventures Radio, brought to you by Atlantic Sea Island Properties, Org PR LLC, and Cyforth Shaw. Each week, Jean Creech interviews interesting entrepreneurs from around the country. If you have a guest suggestion, send Jean an email at jean@boldventuresprogram.com.